We often believe that by staying angry, we are punishing the people who hurt us. We think our silent rage is a weapon that keeps us safe and makes our enemies pay for their mistakes. But the bitter truth is that holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. We carry the memory of the pain like a shield, but that shield eventually becomes a heavy anchor that pulls us deep into the dark sea of bitterness. While we stay trapped in the past, the person who hurt us is often moving on, completely unaware of the fire burning inside our hearts. Let me tell you a story about a man named Kaelash. Kaelash was once a successful builder who worked with his best friend. Together, they built homes and dreams. But one day, his friend betrayed him, taking all the money and leaving Kaelash with nothing but debt and a broken heart. Years passed, but Kaelash could not move on. He spent every waking hour thinking about the betrayal. He walked through life with a permanent frown, and his body began to fail him. He felt a constant tightness in his chest, and his joints ached as if he were 100 years old. He was performing a painful experiment on his own body, proving that a mind filled with hate eventually destroys the house it lives in. The mountain trail he walked today was dusty, and the sun was a scorching ball of fire. Kaelash was searching for a famous healer named Ishani who lived in the high caves. He hoped she had a medicine for his failing health. When he finally found her, Ishani did not give him herbs or ointments. Instead, she looked at his tired eyes and gave him a simple task. She handed him a large burlap bag and told him to fill it with 10 large potatoes. She told him that for the next 3 days, he must carry this bag everywhere he went. He must sleep with it, eat with it, and walk with it. He must not let it leave his side for even a single minute. On the first day, the bag was just a heavy annoyance. Kaelash carried it on his shoulder, wondering what this had to do with his health. The heat of the sun began to act on the potatoes. They started to soften and release a faint, sweet smell of decay. By the third day, the bag was unbearable. The potatoes had turned into a mushy black mess. The smell was so foul that people moved away from him on the trail. It was a heavy, dripping weight that stained his clothes and made him feel sick to his stomach. He returned to Ishani, begging her to let him throw the bag into the river. Ishani smiled kindly and told him that those rotting potatoes were exactly like his grudges. When we are hurt, we take that memory and put it in our bag. At first, it is just a weight. But as time goes on, the memory begins to rot. It ruins our mood, spoils our relationships, and poisons our physical health. She explained the science of the soul, telling him that when the brain stays in a state of anger, it sends out chemicals of stress that weaken the heart and slow down the healing of the body. Forgiveness, she said, is not an act of kindness for the person who cheated you. It is an act of deep self-care for yourself. It is the only way to stop the smell of the past from ruining your today. Kaelash had a sudden eureka moment. He realized that for years, he had been carrying a bag of rotting memories, and he was the only one who could smell them. He dropped the bag into the dirt and felt a lightness he had not known since he was a child. He realized that his health was not failing because of a disease, but because of his refusal to let go. In our modern world of 2026, we often carry digital grudges. We follow hate threads online and keep track of people who wronged us years ago. This only poisons our own feed and our own peace of mind. A practical hack for your life today is the write and burn technique. If you are holding on to an old grudge, sit down and write a letter to that person. Say everything you want to say. Express all your anger and hurt. Then, do not send it. Instead, safely burn the paper and watch the smoke disappear into the sky. This simple act tells your brain that the story is finished. It allows you to unlearn the habit of suffering. In the fast world we live in, we must realize that holding on to hate online or offline is a waste of our precious energy. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. If you want to grow into a stronger, healthier version of yourself, you must be willing to drop the heavy bags of the past. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to your future. Let it go so that you can finally grow. Your peace is worth more than any revenge.